Hey, good Wednesday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, which is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace for this December 28th. Boy, the days are winding down here, and the temperatures are going up, and rain chances are going up as the snow melts away. I told you there would be some more melting yesterday. Even though we only reached a high of 37, it was enough and just enough sun, even though it was cloudy, just enough sun radiation coming through the clouds to melt away, and temperatures getting enough, about 5 degrees above freezing, to start the melting process. And today, there will be only traces of snow left over. And this morning, at least, we're starting out with mainly clear skies. I do see some high clouds trying to work their way in here from the north, but the wind flow at the surface is from the south. So we have a southerly wind coming in today with clouds drifting down from the north off of the Great Lakes. That's where they've got some activity going on there. Um, and it's going to be one of those days where we get plenty of sunshine in here today, and temperatures getting close to 50, if not hitting 50 degrees. Now that's a big change. That 37 for our high temperature yesterday is or was 10 degrees below the average of 47. And I think we're going to certainly hit that 47 today, and again, maybe close to 50 degrees, but there's no rain or snow anywhere close to us. Everything is staying pretty well quiet here before we get the much warmer temperatures and the rain that is coming. And there's a lot of rain that's coming our direction as we usher in the new year and say goodbye to 2022. Now, here's our big warm up. Here's the model blender. And as you can see, we go from 50, 51 today for some of you, into the mid to upper 50s the next few days. How about closer to 60 by the time we get into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, starting the year at 60 degrees. That's 12, 13 or so degrees above the average for this time of the year. That's, well, it's a little unusual. I mean, it's happened before. It doesn't mean anything? Not necessarily. I mean, weather does not pay attention to the calendar. Now, the climate, it has, seasons. We get that. But is it looking at the calendar and going, oh, January 1st, it can't be 60 degrees? It doesn't care. What is that commercial? Yeah, shingles don't care. Yeah, shingles don't care. I can tell you that. Whew, I don't want to even get into that. It's a little scratchy subject. But anyway, how about then mid 60s, maybe even upper 60s, Monday and Tuesday? Now you're like, wait a minute. I don't like where this is going, because then you see by next Wednesday, temperatures come back down to where they should be this time of the year in the 40s. So does that mean something, that we're going to go from mid to upper 60s, maybe even close to 70 at the beginning of January, and then the next day or two we fall into the 40s? Does that mean there's a cold front? Yes, it does. Does that mean we may get some rain and thunderstorms? Yes, it does. Does that mean we're going to get severe weather? Well, just like predicting snow, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. It's something to watch. Okay, right now it doesn't look like the dynamics needed for severe weather are there, but it is something that stands out right there on the chart, on the graph, and something that, in my mind, is like, hmm, we may need to watch what happens there, because it could be something. But right now, we're not going to worry about that. Just know that it's back here boiling, cooking, baking, and we'll have to keep an eye on it to see what happens next. All right, let's take a look at the current temperatures this morning, and we've got a variety of readings all across the Kentucky Mesonet network from 19 here in Warren County, or even 16 up near the Corvette plant, and 14 in Butler County, and then you've got 30 in Russellville, and then 31 in Franklin, and then 32 in Scottsville. It's like, what's going on here? This is crazy. Look at all that. Well, it has a lot to do with any leftover snowpack, which there's still some in some places where you've got snow cover still on the ground and there hasn't been that much in the way of melting even yesterday. It's going to feel colder. Plus, the individual elevation of each of these, all these stations across the Kentucky Mesonet network. And because the air is very stable, then you get a big variety of temperatures this morning. So in some places, it's going to read a lot colder. And I would think that some of these stations even have a bit of snowpack around the sensors, which can give you a skewed temperature reading. But I think generally most everybody is upper 20s to low 30s this morning. So some of these 14s and 16s and 18s and all of that, those may be some anomalies due to the past weather. It's possible. I'm not saying that's the case, but just in my mind, how these things work, 99% of the time they work beautifully, but when you get snow and ice pack and then you get a little snow on the ground and then you get some leftovers, this, that, and the other, then it can skew the temperatures that we're looking at this morning. So don't read a whole lot into that. But everybody today, everybody, if you didn't get enough warm air yesterday to clear things up, today you will. Already, temperatures basically, generally, are starting in the upper 20s to near 30. So we're almost close to freezing, and it won't long with southerly breezes kicking in today. And it will become breezy, but it's a warmer breeze from the south at, say, 10 to 15, then 20 to 25 miles per hour later this afternoon. That's going to help our temperatures soar into the low 50s. And it's going to be a sunny day, except for some of those high drifting clouds you saw on the satellite view this morning. And then as we get into tonight, nowhere near as chilly as it has been. I'm going to go low 40s. Temperatures will actually come down a little and then start to go back up, even during the overnight hours. A warm front, I'll show you on the maps in a minute. A warm front's going to come through, and that's really going to warm us up as we get into Thursday. Watch it just climb and climb and climb into the mid to upper 50s. I would say even close to 60 tomorrow, and it will continue to be breezy. The winds from the south, 10 to 15 to 25 at times, southerly winds today, tomorrow, into Friday, and really throughout the next several days. The winds are all going to be from the south. What that means for us: warm temperatures, no more snow, no more ice, no more freezing cold for a week or more for us. That long, yes. I don't see any really ridiculously cold air coming, but you saw on the model blender, it is going to get colder or cooler by the end of next week or middle of next week, and but temperatures then will just go back to where we should be for this time of the year, which is the upper 40s to around 50. So, what about precipitation? Well, I can tell you we see no more snow in the forecast, but I do see a lot of rain. And I talked about this yesterday about the rains that are going to come in. Here is later this evening, we'll see some light scattered showers back to the west of us, Boot Hill, Missouri, from Cape Girardeau to Carbondale, Mount Vernon, over toward maybe Paducah. As we get on into the day on Thursday, we stay pretty dry to start. As we get on into the day, the moisture feed will begin, and we'll start to see light scattered showers, rain showers, no snow showers, nothing like that. Like I said, we'll start to see some showers trying to pop up tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And then as we get into Thursday night and Friday, you can see how they've been more numerous and start to stretch over the area. That's the front, that next front that I'll show you that's going to come in and start to just fall apart as it gets here. Right about it gets here, but it's going to still carry plenty of moisture with it. And then it's going to wait for another system that's going to come in like Monday or Tuesday of next week and just continue the rains across the area. So, not a lot of rain to start with. We'll get some showers, but it's after that that the rain chances will increase on into this coming holiday weekend for New Year's. And if you've got New Year's plans, it looks a bit rainy, but at least it's going to be warm. Here's a look at the maps to show you the fronts and everything, how it progresses day by day. Pretty quiet here as high pressure is still in control. Here comes our next round of systems from the west. Put this into motion, and you can see that as we go through the day, pretty quiet for us. The winds do pick up, as you see here from the south. There's our warm front. Here comes our system that is going to bring us into the day tomorrow, the beginning of the rain. First of all, the warm front is going to solidify those southerly winds and the warmer temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60. Then we get into Thursday. Yeah, we start to see the rains increasing as we get into Thursday night and Friday. Thunderstorms further south. Here comes that front that I said is going to come in and just kind of fall apart as it runs into the high pressure ridge and the Pac-Man effect takes over. Now this looks pretty stout. Not in a severe weather sense. I'm talking about a rain sense. Yeah, we could pick up maybe a half inch to close to an inch of rain off of this first wave and this first front, which is going to dissolve. This is Friday afternoon into Saturday. Thunderstorms further south with this system. And as we get into Sunday, there it is. It just kind of falls apart. That's it. It starts to break down. And the rains move on for Sunday, the first day of January. So New Year's Day doesn't look all that bad. We'll see maybe a mix of sun and clouds. Excuse me. And as I showed you, a high near 60. Crazy stuff. We get into Monday. Here is the ramping up of the next system with snow and cold air behind it. But we are certainly going to be on the very warm side of this system. So here we go. Monday into Tuesday, more rain, even though this is the last image. It never paints in the precipitation, but you get the idea. Classic cold front, warm front, 3-point arc here into that low pressure system. So rain, thunderstorms, and this one will have colder air behind it or cooler air behind it. It's not going to get cold. It's not going to get crazy cold like it just did recently, but that little bit of a dynamic, and I'm seeing just a little bit of a curl back to the left here with this system, which means we call that a negative tilt. And when that happens, that means it is a strengthening low pressure system. It is getting stronger. It will have some, it kind of starts to wrap around itself or become occluded, depending on how dynamically charged this system is. We may, as I said earlier, may have to raise a red flag on possible severe weather somewhere along this system as we get into, say, Tuesday of next week. So that's what I'm looking at right now. That is still a question mark. Confidence level is not all that high on this right now, but it's something that down the road we may have to take a look at. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I mean, the snow and all, it's a nuisance, and the cold was a nuisance, and power outages and things like that are all temporary nuisances that all bug us to death. And it's like, as rare as it happens, it's kind of like, okay, let's move on, let's get on with it, and we work through it. It's fine. But when we talk severe weather or the possibility of that during the winter time, that's never good. It always reminds us of last year. It just does. And it's going to for uh, thousands and millions of us who had to deal with that a year ago. So we'll see. I just want to give you that kind of a heads up. It may not be anything, but we'll continue to watch it. In the meantime, going to head to the radio station, Sam 100.7. I've got all your classic hits this morning. Uh, no more Christmas songs. So if you were like really worn out with the Christmas music, and we tried to pepper it in instead of just going all Christmas, you won't have to worry about that until next year. Until next year, it's back to the classic rock and roll and good time oldies and whatever you want to call it, vintage vinyl. We got all that. So there you go. Have a great morning. Watch out for a little bit of patchy fog this morning, and maybe an isolated slick spot, but most of all that now is gone. Thank you for watching. As always, God bless you. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you on the radio.